When others stop believing in you, the first and most important thing you must learn is to believe in yourself. It sounds simple, almost cliché, but it's the foundation of every great comeback story, every dream that became reality. Because the truth is, no one else can carry your vision the way you can. No one else can see what you see, feel what you feel, or imagine what you imagine. The world only sees results, but you see the process, the struggle, the small invisible steps that no one notices. And that's why your belief in yourself must be stronger than anyone's doubt about you. There will be times when people around you, friends, family, colleagues, will say, be realistic. They'll tell you your dream is too big, your timing is wrong, or that people like you don't make it that far. You'll be tempted to agree with them because doubt is contagious. When others stop believing, it feels like the oxygen in your dream starts to disappear. But in those moments, you must become your own source of air. Because if you wait for others to validate your dream, it will suffocate before it's born. The power of belief doesn't come from the crowd. It comes from the core of your heart that whispers, I can. Believing in yourself doesn't mean you become arrogant or think you're better than everyone else. No. It means you trust the path, even when you can't see the destination. It means you hold faith when logic says, give up. It means you look at your failures not as evidence of your weakness, but as signs of your growth. Every person who achieved something great, from scientists to artists, from athletes to entrepreneurs, faced moments where no one else could see their light. But they believed anyway, and that belief turned their invisible vision into visible success. Let me share something with you. There was once a bamboo tree planted by a farmer. For years he watered it, took care of it, and waited. But nothing came out of the soil. People mocked him. They said, "You've been wasting your time." But the farmer kept watering. After 5 years of nothing, one day the bamboo sprouted, and in just 6 weeks it grew over 80 feet tall. Now, the question is, did the bamboo grow in 6 weeks or in 5 years? The truth is, it grew in both. For 5 years it was growing its roots, underground, unseen, unheard. It was preparing for its rise. In the same way, when no one believes in you, you are growing your roots. You are preparing for your moment. The world may not see your progress, but that doesn't mean you're not growing. Many times, when people stop believing in you, it's not because they hate you or want you to fail. It's simply because they can't imagine themselves doing what you're trying to do. People project their limits onto your life. They see the world through the lens of their own fears and failures. So when someone says, "You can't do it," what they're really saying is, "I can't imagine doing it." But their imagination is not your reality. You don't have to shrink your dream to fit their perspective. You have to expand your faith to fit your purpose. Self-belief is not built overnight. It's a muscle that you train every single day. Every time you fall and decide to stand again, your belief gets stronger. Every time you face rejection and choose not to quit, your belief grows deeper. It's in those small moments, the silent battles, that confidence is born. You might be doubting yourself right now, thinking, what if I fail again? But let me ask you something. What if you rise higher than ever before? What if this time Your belief turns out to be your greatest strength. When you believe in yourself, you stop depending on applause to move forward. You stop waiting for others to cheer you on because you realize that the voice that matters most is the one inside you. You learn to clap for yourself in empty rooms. You learn to encourage yourself in silent nights. That's where transformation begins. You stop living for validation and start living for vision. And slowly, the same people who once ignored your efforts will begin to notice. They'll ask, "How did you do it?" And you'll smile because the answer was always simple. You believed. Remember, belief doesn't mean you'll never fall. It means that every time you do, you'll get up faster. Belief doesn't mean life will always go your way. It means you'll find your way even when life doesn't. The journey of self-belief is not about proving others wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about knowing that your worth is not defined by who praises you or who doubts you. It's defined by your own persistence, your faith, and your willingness to keep going even when the road gets dark. So, the next time someone tells you that your dream is impossible, just smile and remember, impossible is only the opinion of those who stop trying. Your job is not to convince them. Your job is to keep believing, keep working, keep growing. Because one day, when you finally reach your goal, those same voices will say, "We always knew you could do it." And you'll know the truth. They didn't have to believe in you because you already did. And that, my friends, is where every miracle begins. Not in the noise of the crowd, but in the quiet conviction of your own heart that says, "I believe in me." Silence speaks power, and it speaks louder than you can imagine. There comes a time in everyone's life when you are misunderstood, doubted, or criticized. You'll feel an urge to explain yourself, to prove your worth, to shout back at the people who underestimate you. But my dear friend, sometimes silence is the most powerful answer you can give. Because words can be twisted, but results cannot. Arguments may fade away, but your actions, your growth, and your success, they speak a language no one can deny. When people doubt you, they're often testing your patience, not your potential. The world will provoke you with disbelief just to see if you lose your calm. But silence in the face of doubt is not weakness. It is strength under control. It means you have nothing to prove through noise. You let your work do the talking. You let time reveal the truth. The greatest victories in life are often built quietly, behind closed doors, without explanations or announcements. Just like seeds buried in the soil, silent, unseen, but full of life and power, so are you when you choose silence over reaction. There's a story I once heard about a sculptor. Every day, he would strike a stone hundreds of times. People walking by mocked him. "You've been hitting that stone for months, and nothing's changing," they said. The sculptor didn't reply. He simply smiled and continued his work. One day, with a single strike, the stone cracked open, revealing a beautiful statue within. The crowd gathered and applauded, saying, "That one strike made it happen." But the sculptor said softly, "No, it was not this strike, but all the silent strikes before this that shaped the stone." That's what silence does. It prepares you, shapes you, and builds something extraordinary within you long before the world notices. When people talk behind your back, let them. When they doubt your abilities, let them. When they say you'll never make it, don't waste your breath trying to convince them. Your silence in that moment isn't surrender, it's strategy. Because arguing with a person who refuses to understand is like trying to light a candle in a storm. The flame of truth is easily blown out by the winds of ego. But when you stay calm, focused, and silent, you conserve your energy for the real fight, the one that happens in your work, your effort, your perseverance. Silence is not about doing nothing, it's about doing something greater. It's about shifting your energy from explaining to executing. Instead of saying, I'll prove you wrong, you simply prove yourself right, quietly. Every hour you spend working instead of arguing takes you one step closer to success. Every day you stay consistent while others gossip, you rise higher. And when success finally arrives, it doesn't need a speech. It announces itself through your results. That's the beauty of silence. It's humble but powerful. It's invisible but undeniable. Look at nature. The sun doesn't announce that it's going to rise. It just does. The rivers don't declare that they're flowing. They just keep moving forward. The tree doesn't speak about its fruits. It simply grows and people come to it. You never hear the flower say, look how beautiful I am. It just blooms and the world notices. In the same way, you don't need to tell the world what you're capable of. Your growth will make it obvious. True confidence doesn't shout, it simply shines. The problem is, we live in a world where everyone wants instant validation. We want to be seen, recognized, appreciated immediately. But real success takes time, patience, and silence. It grows in seasons of obscurity. When no one is clapping for you, when no one notices your effort, when you feel invisible, that's when your character is being built. Those are the moments that teach you to depend on yourself, not on applause. Because applause can stop, opinions can change, but the satisfaction of knowing that you stayed calm, focused and true to your path, that stays forever. Sometimes, silence also protects your peace. When you argue with someone who doesn't want to understand, you lose not only your time but your inner balance. There's a saying, never waste words on people who deserve your silence. Some people thrive on conflict. They gain energy when you react. But when you choose silence, you take away their power. You show them that your purpose is bigger than their provocation. You're not ignoring them out of weakness. You're simply too focused on your mission to be distracted by noise. Think about this. When a lion walks through the jungle, it doesn't roar at every barking dog. It walks with dignity, knowing its power. You don't need to respond to every doubt or insult that comes your way. Let your silence be your roar, because one day, when your actions speak for you, even your silence will echo louder than their words. Silence is also where you connect with yourself. It's in the quiet moments that you hear your true voice, not the voice of fear or doubt, but the voice of strength and clarity. When the world gets too loud, when people's opinions drown your peace, step back into your silence, reflect, regroup, refocus. The answers you seek are not in the noise, they're in your stillness. Great decisions, great creativity, great power, they all come from silence. So, if you're going through a time when people don't believe in you, don't fight with them. Don't explain yourself again and again. Let your silence build your future. Let your consistency be your argument. And one day, when your results are undeniable, those who doubted you will be silent too. Not because you silenced them with anger, but because your success spoke louder than words ever could. So keep moving, keep growing, and remember, silence doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're wise enough to know that real power doesn't shout, it simply shines. Pain is not a stop sign, it's a signal. It's life's way of asking, how much do you really want it? When you face disbelief, rejection, or failure, the pain you feel isn't there to break you, it's there to build you. It's the universe's way of reshaping you, strengthening you, preparing you for the path ahead. Every person who has ever achieved something meaningful has walked through the fire of pain. The difference between those who give up and those who rise is simple. One sees pain as an ending, the other sees it as a teacher. When no one believes in you, it hurts deeply. It cuts through your confidence, your hope, and your sense of worth. You start questioning yourself. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I should stop trying. But pause and think. If pain could stop greatness, there would be no stories worth telling. The truth is, pain is part of the journey. It is not the obstacle to your dream, it is the path to it. You cannot reach the top of a mountain without feeling the strain in your legs. You cannot find your strength without feeling your weakness. The pain you feel today is the price of the power you'll carry tomorrow. There's a story about a young athlete who dreamed of winning a gold medal. Every morning he woke before sunrise, ran until his lungs burned, trained until his muscles screamed, and practiced until exhaustion became his routine. His friends mocked him, his body hurt, and there were days he wanted to quit. One day, his coach found him sitting on the track, tears in his eyes, saying, "It's too painful. Maybe I'm not made for this." The coach smiled and said, "My boy, that pain you feel is not your enemy. It's your ally. It's the proof that you're moving forward. Don't run away from it. Run with it." Years later, when that same boy stood on the podium with gold around his neck, he realized something powerful. The pain that once made him cry was the same pain that made him a champion. Pain has a way of revealing who you are. When everything is easy, anyone can smile, anyone can move forward. But when everything feels like it's falling apart, that's when your true character is tested. It's in the dark seasons that you discover the light within you. Every scar you carry tells a story of survival. Every tear that has fallen from your eyes is not a sign of weakness, but of courage, because you felt pain and still kept going. That's what strength truly is. Not the absence of pain, but the mastery of it. So many people run from pain, trying to avoid it at all costs. But the problem is, in running from pain, they also run from growth. Every skill you master, every dream you chase, will demand a price. And that price often comes wrapped in discomfort, sacrifice, and struggle. The artist paints through loneliness. The entrepreneur works through uncertainty. The student studies through sleepless nights. The parent sacrifices through exhaustion. Pain is not against you. It's working for you, shaping you, carving you into someone worthy of the dream you hold. Think of a diamond. It begins as a piece of carbon, ordinary and unnoticed. But it transforms only under intense pressure, and heat. Without that pain, it would never shine. You are no different. The moments that feel unbearable today are molding you into someone who will shine brighter than ever. It's easy to love the light, but it's the darkness that teaches you how to create it. And the deeper your pain, the stronger your foundation becomes. When no one believes in you, that pain becomes even sharper. You feel abandoned, unseen, and unappreciated. But let that pain be your reminder that you are walking a path others cannot see. People doubt what they cannot understand. They laugh at what they cannot do. And when you feel that sting of disbelief, don't let it harden your heart. Let it fuel your purpose. Let it be the fire that pushes you to work harder, to grow wiser, to prove, not to them, but to yourself, that you were born for more. Pain also teaches compassion. Once you've walked through struggle, you begin to understand others' suffering. You become gentler, kinder, and more human. The person who has never faced pain often lacks depth, but the one who has faced heartbreak, rejection, or failure learns empathy, the ability to see others through eyes of understanding. And that's a priceless gift, because true greatness isn't just about reaching the top, it's about staying humble. Once you're there, sometimes pain doesn't make sense while you're in it. You'll ask, why me? Why now? But one day, when you look back, you'll see how every hardship fit perfectly into your story. The rejection that broke you taught you resilience. The failure that humiliated you taught you humility. The heartbreak that shattered you taught you strength. You'll realize that pain was never punishing you. It was positioning you. Every moment of discomfort was preparing you for something greater. So, the next time you feel pain, don't resist it. Breathe. Feel it. Learn from it. Let it refine you, not define you. Let it push you, not paralyze you. Pain is the bridge between who you are and who you are meant to become. It is not the end of your story. It is the turning point. You see, the people who never feel pain never discover their true potential. But those who embrace it, who walk through the storm with faith in their heart, they come out stronger, wiser, and unshakable. So, when life gets tough, and when no one believes in you, don't give up because it hurts. Keep walking through it. Because one day, that same pain will become your greatest power. The proof that you didn't just survive, you transformed. When you are walking a lonely road, chasing a dream that no one else can see, one of the most important lessons you will ever learn is this: you don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need a few people who truly do. And sometimes, that few may only be one yourself. It's better to have a small circle that encourages you than a crowd that confuses you. Because not everyone who smiles at you supports you, and not everyone who stays silent is against you. Life teaches us that quantity never equals quality when it comes to people and belief. There's an illusion many of us grow up believing, that success requires the approval of many. That we need everyone to clap for us, everyone to understand us, everyone to support our dreams. But the truth is, the more people you try to please, the further you drift from your purpose. Not everyone is meant to walk with you. Some people are only meant to watch you from a distance. Some will doubt you, some will envy you, and a few will believe in you so deeply that even when you stumble, they'll remind you that you were born to rise again. Those are the people you need, your small circle of strength. You'll notice something powerful about truly supportive people. They don't need you to be perfect. They don't need you to have all the answers. They simply stand by you quietly but firmly, believing in your potential even when you can't see it yourself. Sometimes it's not the loud encouragement that saves you, it's the silent presence of someone who believes in you enough to remind you that you can keep going. Maybe it's a parent, a friend, a teacher, or even a stranger who says a single line that stays with you forever. These people become the roots that keep you grounded when storms try to uproot you. But here's the truth: most of the time, you will walk alone, and that's not a tragedy, it's training. The universe removes certain people from your path, not to hurt you, but to strengthen you. It's teaching you to depend on your inner voice rather than outer validation. When your circle becomes smaller, your connection with yourself becomes stronger. You stop seeking approval and start listening to your intuition. You start trusting your own timing. You begin to understand that not everyone who starts with you will finish with you, and that's okay. Imagine a rocket preparing for launch. As it rises higher and higher into the sky, certain parts of it fall away. They're called boosters, essential for takeoff, but not for the entire journey. In the same way, some people are meant to help you start, but not stay. You can be grateful for their role without resenting their absence. Because as you go higher, your circle naturally becomes smaller, not out of arrogance, but out of necessity. The air gets thinner at the top, and not everyone is built to breathe at that level. You must learn to guard your energy. Your dream is like a delicate flame. It needs protection from the winds of negativity and doubt. When you surround yourself with too many people who don't believe in you, their fear becomes contagious. They may not mean harm, but their words can slowly chip away at your confidence. Are you sure this will work? Maybe you should choose something safer. What if you fail? These questions sound like care, but sometimes they are dressed up doubt. That's why your circle must be small but strong. People who challenge you, yes, but who never discourage you from becoming who you were meant to be. And what if you find yourself completely alone? No one clapping, no one encouraging, no one understanding your vision. That's when you must become your own circle. Be your own cheerleader. Talk to yourself the way you wish others would talk to you. Tell yourself, I can do this, even when your mind whispers otherwise. The greatest strength is self-sufficiency, the ability to stay motivated without external motivation. Because when you learn to rely on your own belief, no storm can break you. Your strength becomes internal, unshakable, and eternal. Many great achievers lived this truth. When the world laughed at their ideas, they stayed focused. When friends doubted them, they didn't argue, they worked. When they were left alone, they didn't quit, they built. Whether it was an artist painting alone in a small room, an inventor working in a silent workshop, or a dreamer staring at the stars while others slept, they all shared one thing: a small circle of belief. Sometimes that circle had one person in it: themselves. Be selective about who you allow near your dreams. Not everyone deserves to know your plans, because not everyone will nurture them. Some will water your seeds with encouragement. while others will pour doubt that poisons the soil. Protect your vision. Share it only with those who want to see you grow, not those who secretly hope you fail. Energy is contagious, so choose your circle with wisdom. And remember this: you don't have to hate people who don't believe in you. You don't have to prove them wrong. Just move forward with peace in your heart. Let your progress be your proof. When you succeed, your success will speak louder than any explanation ever could. But more importantly, when you reach that success, remember the ones who believed in you from the start, the ones who stayed when others left. They're not just part of your journey, they're part of your strength. And never forget to be that person for someone else one day, because someone's world might change because you believed in them when no one else did. In the end, life is not about having 1,000 people who believe in you. It's about having one heart that refuses to give up on you, and that heart must be yours. A small circle of faith, whether it's one person or a few, is more powerful than a stadium full of doubt. So if your circle is shrinking, don't panic. It's just the universe clearing space for focus, growth, and truth. Because when your circle becomes small but strong, you stop depending on the noise of the world, and you start listening to the voice of your destiny. There's something powerful about consistency. It doesn't shout, it doesn't show off, it doesn't need to be seen. It simply shows up every single day, even when no one's watching. The world is full of people who start strong, who are excited in the beginning, who have big dreams and even bigger words. But very few stay consistent when the excitement fades. Very few keep going when the applause stops. And that, my friend, is where success is truly born, not in moments of motivation, but in the quiet repetition of discipline. You see, her motivation is like a spark. It ignites the fire, but it can't keep it burning. Discipline is the wood that sustains it. There will be days when you feel inspired, when everything flows easily, when you feel unstoppable. But there will also be days when you wake up tired, discouraged, or doubtful. Days when no one believes in you, when progress seems invisible, when you feel like you're moving but going nowhere. And in those moments, consistency becomes your best friend. It doesn't ask how you feel. It just reminds you to show up. There's a story about a man who wanted to dig a well. He started digging one hole, but after a few feet, he got tired and thought, maybe the water is somewhere else. So he moved a few meters away and started another hole. Again, after digging for some time, he gave up and started digging somewhere else. He repeated this over and over, but never reached water. One day, an old farmer watched him and said, "Son, if you had kept digging in one place, you would have found water long ago. You didn't need to dig 100 shallow holes. You needed to dig one deep one." That's exactly what consistency is. It's choosing to stay with something long enough for the results to appear. Because every time you quit halfway, you start over, and the deeper rewards remain buried. Consistency is not glamorous. It's not exciting. It's not always inspiring. It's often lonely, repetitive, and unseen. But it's also the secret ingredient behind every success story. The athlete trains day after day when no cameras are around. The writer sits in front of a blank page every morning, even when inspiration doesn't come. The entrepreneur works late nights, while others sleep. The student studies quietly while others party. These are not acts of genius, they are acts of consistency. And one day, when success comes, everyone will call them lucky. But luck is nothing more than consistency meeting opportunity. When no one believes in you, it becomes even more tempting to stop showing up. You begin to think, what's the point? Nobody notices, nobody cares. But that's when you must remind yourself you're not doing it for recognition, you're doing it for growth. The small daily steps you take, even when unseen, are building something inside you. Resilience, focus, patience, and strength. Every day you show up, even when you don't feel like it, you're planting a seed. It may take weeks, months, or years to sprout, but one day it will, and when it does, the world will call it an overnight success, not realizing the years of consistency behind it. Think about nature. The sun rises every single day, whether we notice it or not. The ocean waves hit the shore again and again, never missing a beat. The earth rotates on its axis every moment, without applause, without rest. Nature's rhythm is consistent, and because of that consistency, life exists. In the same way, when you remain consistent in your efforts, no matter how small, you create a rhythm of success. It might not be loud, but it will be lasting. The problem with many of us is that we mistake slow progress for no progress. We get impatient. We want results immediately. But consistency teaches patience. It teaches you to trust the process. Imagine going to the gym once and expecting to be fit, or studying for one day and expecting to pass an exam. It doesn't work that way. Progress hides in the repetition. It's built in the invisible hours, in the moments when you could have quit but didn't. Consistency is the bridge between intention and achievement, between dreaming and doing. And yes, consistency is hard. It demands sacrifice. It asks you to keep going even when you're not sure it's working. But it also gives you something precious: credibility with yourself. Every time you keep your promise to show up, you build self-respect. You begin to trust yourself. You no longer need external motivation because your inner voice becomes your coach, reminding you, I've come this far, I can keep going. That's how champions are made, not through extraordinary talent, but through extraordinary consistency. When you're consistent, people may not notice in the beginning, but one day they will wonder how you did it. They'll ask for your secret. They'll call you lucky, gifted, or blessed. But you'll know the truth. It wasn't magic. It wasn't miracles. It was simple, stubborn consistency. It was showing up on the days when you felt invisible, unappreciated, and tired. It was doing what needed to be done, even when you didn't feel like it. It was refusing to stop, even when no one was cheering. So if you're walking a path where no one believes in you, let consistency be your voice. Let your results speak. You don't have to prove yourself to everyone. Just prove that you can keep going. Every small act of consistency builds momentum. Every day you stay disciplined, you move one step closer to your dream. And one day, when the results bloom, when people finally see what you've built, they'll call it success. But you'll know it was simply the result of showing up again and again, quietly, faithfully, without fail. Remember, motivation might get you started, but consistency will get you there. Even when the journey feels slow, even when no one believes in you, keep showing up. Because consistency doesn't just create success, it creates strength, confidence, and unshakable faith in who you are. And that, more than anything, is what truly makes a person unstoppable